So, yeah, I feel so happy to have such amazing friends in this professional space that make me feel seen and have a really good time. Today, we have a very special person sitting next to us. We'll get to him a little bit later. But first, Francis, what's happening at Black Girl Sunscreen?
Okay. So one of our quickly rising products that doesn't get talked about enough is our Sunshield UPF 50 gloves. I know I say each product is my favorite, but these are next level. So I get my nails done and I get gel and I wear these gloves. Driving, walking, out for a run, whatever it is. If you want to protect your hands, use your gloves. If you want double protection, sunscreen, gloves on top, you're good to go. blackgirlsunscreen.com, Sunshield UPF 50 gloves, okay? Get you a pair, get your friend a pair, get your mom a pair. Just get everybody a pair. It's pocket friendly. Do it.
Anybody that has their hands in the sun, I mean,
yes.
In terms of like places that age or appear to age very quickly, are our hands. I will have to say I'm going to take your tip and apply sunscreen under the UPF glove because I haven't thought about that before. I mean, I use the OG as lotion, but I never put it on together with the gloves. So
extra protection.
Okay then,
love it.
So you'll find that on blackgirlsunscreen.com.
Yes.
Francis, you laughing
already.
Francis, who do we have sitting next to us?
Joining us today is a serial entrepreneur and super connector of his time, believing that collaboration is an elevated approach to success. He is the co-founder and COO of StartupStarter and host of Investment Week, where he prides himself on being a mentor, leader, and an advocate and voice for founder mental health. Legacy, change, and future building are at the forefront of his passion to help open doors to access across the startup ecosystem and underrepresented communities while inspiring others to be empowered. Please join us in welcoming Mr. Lorel Scott to the show.
Lorel, hey, straight from Bali.
Yeah.
So what's it like living in another country?
Man, I think that when you are used to one place or one country and like you get the opportunity to like travel around the world, I think that when opening your eyes to different experiences allows you to see like, wow, like we're a lot different than these countries. And I think that it's kind of a culture shock for me specifically. I mean, as a Black man, just traveling around the country, you're meeting all these different cultures. But honestly, it's the best decision I've ever made in my life.
What were like the top 3 things that like you needed to be in Bali to survive?
I needed, since I'm here, I needed that BGS, baby.
Oh, I knew he was gonna come there, but we gonna tie it in a second.
Top 3 things I needed: the ability to have easy access, obviously to Wi-Fi. Being an entrepreneur, I need to be able to have a place that has really great Wi-Fi.
Yep.
I needed to also live in a place where I felt like home, but it also felt like it was new.
Okay.
While at the same time, I also needed to make sure that I had the essentials to make sure that I could, get by day to day. And some of those things are
like a bike.
Yeah, scooter. I'm on scooter.
Transportation, right?
Yeah, transportation was my first concern. Is like, how do I get around? Right. For one, we drive on the opposite side of the road, so I had never done that before. And 2, I had never really spent a lot of time on a motorcycle or on a scooter.
Did you wear a helmet?
Of course.
They don't.
I'm so proud of you.
No, they do, and they don't. But like, there's no police around that's like policing you with a helmet. I mean, there's certain areas you go to, they'll be like, oh, they'll pull you over.
When I went to Bali, it was like 3, 4 on a scooter, no helmets.
Maybe I'm like 6. What do you mean?
Jeez. Yeah. So okay, so you had a scooter or a bike or both?
I just have a scooter. When I get back, though, I'm going back next month, and I'll have an actual motorcycle.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Lorel.
She can never get it right, y'all.
I sure can. It's Lorel. You look tan.
I look tan?
Yes, you look tan. You look sun-kissed in the face.
Yeah.
Yes. So were you wearing your sunscreen, your BGS Men?
All the time.
That got stuck
I keep it with me nonstop.
Let me tell you, one thing I love about you, Lorel, you are such an advocate for Black Girl Sunscreen.
Oh, yeah. It's literally the best sunscreen product.
But wait, why did he enter the Beyonce concert?
Contest? contest.
Contest.
These black girl sunscreen just made for girls. What you mean? I can get on.
Listen, Lorel's video was fire though. Can you just give us some movement that you did? Oh, you wearing a hat.
I was just patting on my, because like one thing about black girl sunscreen, like not even just black girl sunscreen, other products, like you don't have to like rub it in. You can just put it in there and just pat it in there, right? So I was giving you that Beyonce pat. You know?
Do we think that's the proper way to put on sunscreen, y'all?
No.
Okay, well you guys can enlighten me and school me on some things.
You know you need to rub that sucker in.
Yeah.
Get it nice and
get
moisturized.
It up in there.
Get it up in there.
You gotta put it on your head too.
Oh yeah, everything I do to my face, I do to my head. So
love it
because I'm bald.
Hair challenge.
Say it again.
Hair challenge.
Hair challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say that. I started losing in areas that I didn't want to look crazy. I had these corners.
I used
to have braids. I used to have hair
that.
down to like my shoulders, and so all that yanking and pulling, when I cut it off, it stayed for about 6 months, and the next thing you know, started coming out the corners.
Would you ever wear a man unit?
No. Because my head too sexy. Well, I didn't do that. That was my biggest concern while I was holding on to it in the beginning was like, am I gonna have an ugly bald head? Like, what's it gonna feel like? What's it gonna look like? And then one day I was just sitting. I was actually visiting my dad in Nevada, and we were in the desert, and I was like getting ready to like put this like hair fiber stuff that I was like trying to keep it looking like it was there.
Okay.
And I was just like,
hair fiber.
Dad, just cut this off. And then my dad sat me down. I have a really cool picture of my dad like cutting my hair off for the first time. And so it was a really like nice experience.
And you embraced it.
I embraced it, and ever since then,
you was doing spray on hair though.
No, I wasn't spray on hair. I guess it was
to make it grow.
No. To make it seem like he had hair.
Yeah, so I had it in the corners, right? So in the corners, I was losing my hair, just like right in the corner. So they had these hair fibers that kind of like make your hair look full, right? And you put it in, and then you would spray a little spray on top, and then boom.
Oh, love it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you talking about your dad? What was your upbringing like?
So I grew up in a 2-parent household for the majority of my life. My parents divorced when I was in high school. My mom moved me and my sister to Miami. I think that's when like my life completely changed and like went into a different direction. It may not have, because I have 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers and a sister. And so my sister and I were the only ones that were still left in the household. And so my mom moved us to Miami, and I was just like, yo, Miami, we're going to move Miami. Like, what's up?
What age were you?
I was in a middle of my junior year in high school.
Are you the baby though?
I'm the baby boy. My sister's 7 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my 2 older brothers were out of the house, and so they remained where I'm from, Sacramento. I grew up in Sacramento. They remained there, and then me and my sister moved with my mom to Miami. And so us moving to Miami was like, oh, this is cool. But then once you realize, like, yo, like I'm leaving all my friends that I grew up with behind. Like, for a little while, I sat and had lunch by myself. Like,
at school.
Yeah, at school, like in the lunchroom. And then, slowly people gravitated towards me. And then, listen, in a year and a half, though, I ran for prom prince. So, that's the thing in Miami.
Did you win?
No, I didn't win. But listen, just let me know. I had friends, though,
Okay.
Because you had to get voted?
You had to get voted.
You had to get voted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I had made friends, and, I'm crazy. Look, we made friends,
Oh, my goodness gracious. Do you remember when we met?
Yeah.
You want to tell him? Don't tell the show though.
Don't. Okay. Yeah. So we were doing a docuseries. We both were casted for, and I think we just hit it off like automatically.
Because you're so shady, and there was a lot of craziness going on, and you were just like, yeah, yep, and I was like, yeah.
I think it was a little bit of both of us, but
no, it was you.
Thank you.
It was you.
Francis
I was there.
My witness.
They lucky this
King of
BGS
Shade
show.
King of Shade.
What?
They lucky this is a BGS show.
No, we're not ganging up on you.
We love you, Lorel.
Listen. I'm happy with my shade.
It's so funny though. All right, let's go back to how you grew up though, right?
Lorel, how do you define your sexuality?
I like what I like. No, I'm just playing.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Let's talk about it.
I like what I like. I mean, I went through.
Was that Miami?
No, I think I've always known since I was young.
That you like what you
I'm gonna
like?
tell you something that's funny. I don't really tell many people.
Oh, tell us.
Ooh,
That's
tell
why
it.
people heard this.
Okay.
So when I was younger, right, I was
Mhm.
super young. WWF used to come on the TV, right? My parents had this huge projector TV in the living room, and so when people weren't looking, people weren't around, like I would go and like kiss the guys on the screen, and I was like super young.
The wrestlers?
Yeah, the wrestlers.
What was
Which do you
But I was
remember
so
which
young,
one?
though. No, I don't remember any of that. I don't even watch it now. But like,
Yeah.
that's just one of my memories of like, oh, like I feel like someone asked me like, what's that moment? One of the moments you remember being a kid, like, oh, I like guys or something like that, right? Or I'm into men. And so that was for me. That was the first moment, right? And then as I got older, I didn't come out until I was in college, right? I didn't. I think I went through a weird transition. I grew up in the church, right? My parents had us in the church every Sunday. And I grew up in a place where like nobody knew, right? And I didn't being that I didn't come out till college, like I hid it from my family. I hid it from, even if someone felt like, oh, they knew that or they thought I was, like I never like confirmed it with anyone, right? And so I went through the whole phase of like trying to pray the gay away as well. I went through that phase in high school. Are we allowed to curse on this show?
I would prefer not to.
Okay, cool. But I got to a place when I was in college and I was just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care what you think about me. Like, I used to be shy, believe it or not.
Oh,
Yeah, I used to be shy more so when it came to like getting in front of people
Sure.
and speaking or publicly. And then once I kind of like got over that hurdle and fear of being in front of people, it kind of like I opened up and was just like, yo, I don't care what people think about me. Like, this is who I am and I'm okay with it. And once I came out to my family, which was tough, particularly, religiously on the religious side, and my mom's faith, my siblings, like they don't care. My sister's also, she's LGBTQ as well. She's married to a woman. And so that didn't really affect the relationship I had with my siblings. My dad adapted to it very well also. And then it was a little different for my mom, which I totally respect her faith and I totally respect, her views on it. So it was a little harder, getting over that hurdle. But like at the end of the day, I feel like I have so much love around me, regardless of like who cares or who does or like any of that. And honestly, for like me in my life today, like being a gay man and being openly gay and just being myself, like it's been my superpower. So yeah.
Have you ever dated a woman?
Yeah, I dated women all the way through. I mean, I've dated women. I've done more with women.
Yeah.
I've done it all. Yeah.
You've done it all. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you like what you like, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, and it's funny because it's like it's not that I'm just a gay man, but I'm actually like a lot of times I get attracted to different women. You know what I mean? And like it's just a different feeling than you would have with a man or with a woman. A lot of people find that like, or they think like, oh, like you're gay, and I feel like a lot of people put behind like someone being gay that it's a sexual thing, right? And for me, it's not a sexual thing, right? It's like I actually like the sculpture of a man, like. You know what I mean? And that's totally different than what a woman has to offer me, but it doesn't take away the beauty of a woman, right? Like when it comes to women, I'm like, I'm into women with nice breasts. You know what I mean? So like that's my thing, right? When it comes to women. And it for me, I think that it really takes someone strong enough to be able to open up and say like and be real about it. There was a time when I had a girlfriend and she knew, right? She knew ahead of time. And it didn't really affect my relationship with her. And what affected it was other people's perception of it. Like, oh, like, wait, you like dudes and she knows and y'all are in a relationship and y'all come to the gay club? Like, nah, this ain't real. Right. And I'm just like, listen, everybody has their own thing.
Do you have any advice for anyone? Because you said that you were praying it away. Do you have any advice for anyone that may need to share?
I think everyone is on their own journey, right? You can't tell someone how they should be or when they should share that. That's very personal, right? And if that's something that they're not ready like to tell, that it has to be on their own time, right? I wasn't like pressured by anyone. Me being a lot of times I get questions like, oh, like, were you molested or were you touched or anything like that? And that never happened to me. Like I've never experienced that, right? And there are people that have. Um, but my biggest advice is just like, listen, on your own time, like it's your journey and your sexuality is yours. It's not anyone else's, right? People, it's funny because people always ask me like, what are your pronouns? I'm like, honestly, I don't really use pronouns. Like, yeah,
I have pronouns.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, listen, everyone has their own thing.
Say it. What's your pronoun?
Almost there.
Okay, well, I heard a really good one on Instagram, and she said people always ask me what my pronouns are. And she said my pronouns are try me. Like, please try me.
So try you. Has your sexuality and has that affected you in business? You are an entrepreneur.
No, actually,
Has it worked to your benefit?
It has
Okay.
propelled me in business. At first, I thought it would, but I don't think I don't think my sexuality is what defines like my success anyway, right? I think that we live in a world where many people just don't care, right? They want to know you and who you are as a person, what's underneath your skin, not and who you sleep with is not necessarily the first thing that's on their mind, right? And I think that my personality and how I am as a human and how I interact with people and how I care about people and as me being a super connector in my industry, like that's what people care about. Like, oh, like he brings value to me. He's a good person. He's genuine, right? And so I stay steadfast in that. And so honestly, it's really been a superpower for me to live within my own skin.
Hey now. I want to talk about StartupStarter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said it was like it was 2 words.
Because sometimes I get a little confused. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay, yeah.
I want to call you Kickstarter, but like I know it's not that.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that I get it properly. If you must call me out.
I'm just messing with you.
But
This is me and Shontay, though.
so,
This is how me and Shontay's conversations go.
I'm just being honest.
Conversations are just all full of shade.
But no, wait. This is an important piece. So let's talk about the business.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. I mean, business is growing. We have been in business. We're going into our 5th year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Welcome.
5th year being full-time co-founder. With it, like, comes a lot.
Uh-huh.
You as a business owner know, like, there's a lot that goes into running a company, and showing up and constantly showing up with that smile on your face. But yeah, StartupStarter's been great. I mean, for those that don't know what StartupStarter is, so we're a media and fintech company. So we sit at the center of entrepreneurship, retail investing, angel investing, and just investments in general, right? And so as a media company, we like to showcase startups and tell their stories, right? Whether it's startups that look like me, right, or look like someone else, and we're agnostic across all different industry types. On top of that, we also focus on technology around making the investment process easier. So we right now are launching a capital intelligence platform that allows companies the ability to track all their data in one place while also launch their raise in one place, right? And making it easier for investors to actually find better deals. I think the biggest piece when it comes to startups these days is startups are always looking for capital, right? But on the other side, investors are always looking for the next best deal, right? How do you get that, right? And it's just by having better data, right? Data information.
It kind of sounds complicated.
I think that, I think it can be complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, startups can be complicated as well, right? And there's a lot that goes into building a startup in different stages that you're in. And I think that like one thing that companies really have to be able to do is have the ability to like pivot, because as a startup, you will pivot, you will continue to pivot. And I feel like it's a little different than if you're, you work for a corporation or you work for a company that's well established. Like it's easier for them to pivot. When you're a startup, you have to go in. I think it's funny from the show we were on, like we're going into battle, right?
Please,
Lorel. What's one challenge you faced in leading StartupStarter?
I think the biggest challenge for me is, I think one, raising capital is tough, right? As a Black founder, my co-founder is also a minority. I think that when you look at like the amount of companies that are minority led and how many of those companies are actually getting capital and getting funded, I think that, we look at that number as 2%, right?
Less. Less now.
Even less now, right? And you have to look at like, okay, where do I fall in that 2%? So we have to not only work 10 times harder, but you then have to work 10 times harder again against, and I wouldn't say against, right? Like you're basically put up against, if Shontay is raising capital as a Black woman, and I'm raising as an LGBTQ Black man and Latino co-founder, now it's like we're almost up against each other because there's only so much, right? And I think it's generational. There's a generational aspect to that, because when we look at how it is even in the job market, right? There's one position that's available for someone, right? But I have to then go against my peers of color to get that one role. And but at the same time, there's never enough roles for those individuals, right? It's the same thing when it comes to business and raising capital, right? Because we don't have the same access.
Oh, I know.
We don't have the same access.
What's
right?
been last question? What's been the most memorable experience you've had?
So recently, we hit a big milestone when it came to StartupStarter. We run an investment week. Investment week is our big conference, and we do that annually. And so this last year, we teamed up with the city of Santa Monica, the mayor's office, as well as city council to host the one-of-a-kind street fair. And with that, we were able to close down Ocean Avenue, a block away from Santa Monica Pier, bringing together about 1,300 to 1,400 people to talk about innovation and really showcase innovation in Santa Monica, and it being Silicon Beach, right? So you have Silicon Valley in the north, you have Silicon Beach in the south, where technology companies are emerging. So that was a huge milestone for me, that me as a minority founder, as an LGBTQ man, that I was able to do something that had never been done on Ocean Avenue before in Santa Monica, with the Department of Economic Development, with the city of Santa Monica, that has really transformed the way that they look at how they move forward in working with smaller businesses.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Lorel.
Thank you.
Can we play a game with you?
Yeah.
It's called This or That.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for these questions?
Maybe.
Good luck.
Is there a prize at the end?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Catching flights or catching feelings?
I'm catching flights
Okay.
all day.
Okay.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Forehead kiss or a hug?
Both. Can I do that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Boxers, briefs, or thongs?
Briefs.
A guy best friend or a girl best friend?
Girl.
Tank top or t-shirt?
No shirt.
I believe that. Like
100%.
In Bali, listen, I have no shirt on a lot.
when this man he's in the radio station with a halfway button shirt. Like, y'all.
They gonna see the video.
Yeah, no. Do you wear mesh?
Who?
Mesh?
No.
I could so see that though.
Yeah.
Me wear mesh?
Yeah.
It's just not my vibe.
Okay. So we said tank top or a t-shirt, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. Going to bed early or wake up early?
That's hard. I kind of it just depends on what time of the year and how busy I am. Like I'm a night owl and a morning person at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big spoon, little spoon.
Both.
Lorel, what's next for you?
I go back to Bali.
Okay.
We are getting ready to prepare to do the 150th year anniversary of Santa Monica. We'll be doing an investment week as well, and then we have a huge venture ecosystem holiday party coming up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Yep. I'll be there.
Yeah, you better be.
Shucks.
Lorel, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having me.
For having us.
I'm so stuck on whatever that man just
We didn't even get a
said.
chance to talk about how I keep this product in my pocket all the time.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. What do you have in your hands?
So this is Make It Matte. I think your girl Kimberly, I told her, I said, I need to make sure that I got some of this, right? Because for a guy who is really about skincare,
Yeah.
putting this on helps for me. So I don't even have to like mix all of the skincare product on with the white, right? Even though it has no white cast, once you rub it all in, this just make it easier. I can keep this in my pocket and just
it goes with you though. Like that packaging goes with your look and everything. It's phenomenal.
You just stick it in your pocket. Y'all got one smaller than this?
No.
Okay,
no.
This is good. This is good. I like this.
Listen,
and I keep one of these too. You know what this is?
Yes.
You know what this is?
I do. What's in there?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know what was in there. Oh,
what is that?
I keep one of these on me.
I love that.
You ain't about to have me out here single and ugly.
Oh. Listen.
And on that note,
you're listening to Shamelessly Shontay. Bye.
Gotta dodge them sunbeams. Just put on your black girl sunscreen. Ay, black don't crack a dozen. Black people get sunburned too. Ask my cousin. Skin to skin is for women and for men.